Hello again. Welcome to episode 31 of the restoration story, my brother's 1967 E-Type Coupe. I can't believe I've done 30 episodes and there's still so much to do. But as you can see, it's pretty much a bare shell now. So what I need to do in this episode is start to refurbish all of the parts that have come off the shell. I'm going to brace the doors because I need to start getting ready to fill the hole in the roof. So I need to make sure the shell is as sturdy as possible. The other thing I'm going to do is build a frame to support the bonnet so that I can actually move that around, refurbish it and send it off to be dipped and e-coated. Each of these brackets needs stripping right back to bare metal and repainting. So I've got the battery tray, I've got various bits of splash shield here, this one's aluminium. I've got the reservac tank, I've got the brackets that hold the brake reservoir, horns, brackets for the flexi pipes, anti-roll bar drop links, brake shields here for the front and a pair of door hinges. So I want to try and do this as a batch job, so I'll get them in the sandblaster. I've just done a couple of small jobs to finish stripping the shell. I've removed the fuel pump, the remains of the wiring harness and the heater pipes that are within the bulkhead here. I need to start preparing the shell to fill the hole in the roof here. Before I do that, I want to reinforce the shell so that it doesn't twist or warp in any way. You can see here it's really got very slender A-pillars. I can actually wrap my hand around this. Now obviously it'd be a lot worse and I'd have had to have braced it already if this was an open two-seater rather than a coupe. But even so, I want to get some braces across here between where the striker plate is and the hinges are. So to do that, my friend John's very kindly given me this angle steel. Now obviously it needs a little bit of cleaning up, but once I've cleaned it up and cut it to shape, put some holes in it, I should be able to brace across. I've taken this off and done a few more reinforcement welds. I've now got this door brace to a point where it's not pulling it together, it's not pushing it apart, it's just fitting really, really nicely, so I can easily lift it in and out and it sticks in exactly the right position, lines up with the fixings. All I need to do is bolt it up. My next task is to turn this 18mm square tube that I've got into a frame to mount the bonnet on. When I went to RS Panels, who rolled the roof infill panel here, they had a really nice frame that allowed them to move the bonnet around in its upright position, but also to tip it over so that it could be transported and it was easier for building up the headlamps, putting the wiring loom and everything like that. It'll also make it easier if I ever want to transport this, put it on a trailer. So I need to cut and shape this, weld it together and work out how to hang it. So this cross member in the bonnet here is structural and there are some big floating washers inside that section that the bonnet actually mounts and hinges from. And then down either side here are where the latches are. So in effect I'm going to be supporting the whole bonnet up on this bit here and I want it to just rest against those latching points there. Now I've got this base part of the frame built, and as you can see the bonnet slides around quite nicely on it. I actually don't want it resting on that, so I'm going to now put in some verticals here to be able to put it on the proper hinge points up on this cross member. Just at the point I thought I was about finished with this, I'm maybe giving it a coat of paint. I've realised that I've welded this angle section across the top on the wrong way round. It should be the other side there, which is a complete stupid thing to do. So I'm going to have to cut it off and cut this piece and reshape it, because this is going to be ruined, and weld this new one back on the right way round. I've now rectified my mistake and got the bonnet mounted on here for the first time. I've just got a rubber mallet wedged in at the bottom there, because the whole lot's pivoting on that, so it's suspended as I wanted it to be. My next stage is getting the strikers here for the bonnet latches to be held in place. I'm just going to use again more of this angle steel to hold that in the right position, hence why I've got the mallet wedged in there, because that's about the space I want it. So I want this to be supported when it's vertical like this, but I also want it to be supported when it's horizontal, so I can shape this in the right way. Those two brackets on the bottom in place now, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to take the bonnet back off and give this whole thing a coat of satin black etch paint. So I've now got a coat of paint on this to protect from rust, and as you can see I've got a bonnet that I can move around easily. I think is success. Thank you very much for watching. Please join me next time when I start to strip the engine frames.